Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodesh. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of Judges, the 11th chapter. As we saw in the 10th chapter, as the Lord raised up the Ammonites, and those that were with them, and they began oppressing the tribes of Israel that were on the east of the Jordan, eventually making their way across the Jordan to come against Judah. So here we are in Judges 11 and 1. Now Jephthah, the Gileadite, was a mighty man of valor, and he was the son of an harlot. And Gilead begat Jephthah. So Jephthah's father was Gilead through a harlot, i.e. Jephthah's mom was an harlot. And Gilead's wife bare him sons. And his wife's sons grew up, and they thrust out Jephthah. So they basically drove him out, kicked him out, and said unto him, "Thou shalt not inherit in our father's house." So you basically get no inheritance of Gilead, for thou art the son of a strange woman. Because your mother was a harlot, you're not getting no inheritance. So they basically kicked him out. Then Jephthah fled from his brethren and dwelt in the land of Tob. And there were gathered vain men to Jephthah, and went out with him. And it came to pass in process of time that the children of Ammon made war against Israel. And this is what we were reading of in the 10th chapter, how they gathered to come against Israel. And it was so that when the children of Ammon made war against Israel, the elders of Gilead went to fetch Jephthah out of the land of Tob. And they said unto Jephthah, "Come and be our captain, that we may fight with the children of Ammon." So come and lead us, being that you're a mighty man of valor, and into this war against the children of Ammon. And Jephthah said unto the elders of Gilead, "Did not ye hate me, and expel me out of my father's house? Weren't you the same people that kicked me out of my father's house? And why are ye come unto me now, when ye are in distress?" Yeah, so why are you coming to me now? Now that you facing troubles and you're afraid of the Ammonites, now you want to come to me? And the elders of Gilead said unto Jephthah, "Therefore we turn again to thee now, that thou mayest go with us, and fight against the children of Ammon, and be our head over all the inhabitants of Gilead." So we came to you because if you come and you fight, you go with us and lead us into that battle, we'll make you the head of Gilead, of the house of the inhabitants of Gilead. And Jephthah said unto the elders of Gilead, "If ye bring me home again to fight against the children of Ammon, and the Lord Yahweh deliver them before me, shall I be your head?" So indeed, to confirm what they were saying, is this what you're saying? That if you bring me back and I fight the Ammonites, you're going to make me head? And the elders of Gilead said unto Jephthah, "The Lord Yahweh be witness between us, if we do not so according to thy words." Then Jephthah went with the elders of Gilead, and the people made him head and captain over them. And Jephthah uttered all his words before the Lord in Mizpah. So basically all the things that he had spoken of with the elders, he recounted in the presence of the Lord in Mizpah. And Jephthah sent messengers unto the king of the children of Ammon, saying, "What hast thou to do with me, that thou art come against me to fight in my land?" So what's your business? You don't got no beef with us. Why are you here? And the king of the children of Ammon answered unto the messengers of Jephthah, "Because Israel took away my land, when they came up out of Egypt, from Arnon even unto Jabbok, and unto Jordan. Now therefore restore those lands again peaceably." So the king of Ammon, he's here, and his quarrel is Israel took my land when they came out of Egypt. and I want them back. And Jephthah sent messengers again unto the king of the children of Ammon, and said unto him, Thus saith Jephthah, Israel took not away the land of Moab, nor the land of the children of Ammon. So we didn't take any of your lands. But when Israel came up from Egypt and walked through the wilderness onto the Red Sea and came to Kadesh, then Israel sent messengers unto the king of Edom, saying, Let me, I pray thee, pass through thy land. But the king of Edom would not hearken thereto. And in like manner they sent unto the king of Moab, but he would not consent. And Israel abode in Kadesh. So the king of Edom and the king of Moab, they both said, Nah, we're not going to give you passage through our lands. Then they went along through the wilderness and compassed the land of Edom and the land of Moab, meaning they went around. Instead of going through their land, they went around it, and came by the east side of the land of Moab, and pitched on the other side of Arnon, but came not within the border of Moab, for Arnon was the border of Moab. So they didn't cross into the land of Moab to take it over. And Israel sent messengers unto Sihon, king of the Amorites, the king of Heshbon. And Israel said unto him, Let us pass, we pray thee, through thy land into my place. But Sihon trusted not Israel to pass through his coast. But Sihon gathered all his people together, and pitched in Jahaz, and fought against Israel. Now I pulled up here a map, approximation of the region that we're talking about here, right? So you see the blue here, or the red is the former territory, as it says, of Sihon, which now Israel dwelt in. So you had Ammon here on the east, and you had, Sihon, which basically had this region right here, right, which now became Reuben and Gad's territory. And so because he refused to let us pass through, as we're reading of here, and he, as it says, he gathered all his people and pitched in Jahaz and fought against Israel. And the Lord God of Israel delivered Sihon and all his people into the hand of Israel, and they smote them. So Israel possessed all the land of the Amorites, the inhabitants of that country. Hence, after smiting them, we ended up taking this part. But Ammon's was over here. Now, whether Sihon ended up taking territory from Ammon in time past and then, making it theirs, that's between them and Ammon, which is the point that Jephthah is making here, which is that we didn't come and take this land from the Ammonites. Sihon of the Amorites came out against us. We defeated him, and we took that. It says here, so Israel possessed all the land of the Amorites, the inhabitants of that country. And they possessed all the coasts of the Amorites, from Arnon even unto Jabbok, and from the wilderness even unto Jordan. So now the Lord Yahweh God of Israel hath dispossessed the Amorites before, or from before his people Israel, meaning he drove them out of the land from before his people. And shouldest thou possess it? So if the Lord cleared them out the land for us, why the hell should you come and take the land? Will not thou possess that which Chemosh thy God giveth thee to possess? So why don't you stay in your lane, right? And you dwell in the lands that Chemosh has given you. So whomsoever the Lord Yahweh our God shall drive out from before us, them will we possess. So our God drove out these nations from before us, so those are the lands we took. And now art thou any better than Balak, the son of Zippor, king of Moab? Did he ever strive against Israel, or did he ever fight against them? Now, Balak, when you go into that story, he, sought to curse Israel, but he didn't engage in military conflict with Israel, but he sought to curse them via Balaam, which failed. So as Jephthah is saying here, are you any better than Balak? But even Balak, when he strove against Israel here, it wasn't physically. He didn't go to war with Israel, right? Did he ever physically go to war or fight against them? No. Whilst Israel dwelt in Heshbon and her towns, and in Aroer and her towns, and in all the cities that belong or that be along by the coast of Arnon 300 years. So from from when we took it over up until, I would assume, the present time of Jephthah, why therefore did ye not recover them within that time? So of all this whole time we've been dwelling in the land, you didn't come there, you didn't say it was yours, you didn't try to claim it, and now all of a sudden you're getting up and saying this is your land and we should give it back to you? Wherefore I have not sinned against thee, but thou doest me wrong to war against me. So really you're in the wrong trying to war against us. We haven't done anything wrong to you. The Lord Yahweh the judge be judged this day between the children of Israel and the children of Ammon. Howbeit the king of the children of Ammon hearkened not unto the words of Jephthah which he sent him. So he wasn't even trying to hear that. Then the Spirit of the Lord came upon Jephthah, and he passed over Gilead and Manasseh, and passed over Mizpah of Gilead, and from Mizpah of Gilead he passed over unto the children of Ammon. And Jephthah vowed a vow unto the Lord Yahweh, and said, If thou shalt without fail deliver the children of Ammon into mine hands, then it shall be that whatsoever cometh forth of the doors of my house to meet me, when I return in peace from the children of Ammon, shall surely be the Lord Yahweh's, and I will offer it up for a burnt offering. Now that was definitely not a wise vow on his part, considering the, considering the not knowing, right? He didn't know what that would be, so it wasn't really a wise. That vow wasn't really a wise one to make. Nonetheless, that's how the Lord had it play out, right? And that's what he did. So Jephthah passed over onto the children of Ammon to fight against them, and the Lord Yahweh delivered them into his hands. So he ended up getting the victory over the Ammonites. And he smote them from Aroer even till thou come to Minnith, even 20 cities, and onto the plain of the vineyards, with a very great slaughter. Thus the children of Ammon were subdued before the children of Israel. And Jephthah came to Mizpah unto his house, and behold, his daughter came out to meet him with timbrels and with dances, and she was his only child. Beside her, he had neither son nor daughter. And that's why that vow wasn't very wise, because now you had to make good on it, but having vowed to the Lord that you would sacrifice the first thing that came out to meet you for a burnt offering, now the first one that came out was his daughter, his only child. And it came to pass when he saw her, that he rent his clothes, and says, Alas, my daughter, thou hast brought me very low, and thou art one of them that trouble me. Basically, you coming to see me, you being the first one to open this door, right, is really not a beautiful thing anymore. It's really a troubling thing for me, considering, for I have opened my mouth unto the Lord, and I cannot go back. I mean, I made a vow concerning this, and I can't take it back. And she said unto him, My father, so she understood what he meant, right? If thou hast opened thy mouth unto the Lord Yahweh, do to me according to that which hath proceeded out of thy mouth. For as much as the Lord Yahweh hath taken vengeance for thee of thine enemies, even of the children of Ammon. You made a vow unto the Lord, so you got to keep it, all right, even if it's at her expense. And she said unto her father, Let this thing be done for me. Let me alone 2 months, that I may go up and down upon the mountains, and bewail my virginity, I and my fellows. So she asked for 2 months so she can mourn and, sorrow for the fact that, she would die a virgin, not having a husband, not having children, and so on and so forth. Her and, maybe her friends or whatnot, i.e. her fellows. And he said, Go. And he sent her away for 2 months, and she went with her companions and bewailed her virginity upon the mountains. And it came to pass at the end of 2 months that she returned unto her father, who did with her according to his vow which he had vowed. And she knew no man, and it was a custom in Israel, meaning he sacrificed her as a burnt offering. So therefore she died not having, known a man, i.e., having a husband. And so it became a custom in Israel that the daughters of Israel went yearly to lament the daughter of Jephthah, the Gileadite, 4 days in a year. And that brings us to the end of the book of Judges, the 11th chapter. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Ruach HaKodesh. Until next time, Shalom.